Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Rita, this is my channel 10 Red Lipsticks, and today is Valentine's Day, so we're going to talk about 10 Valentine's palettes that you might already own. So I have been very tempted by 3 Valentine's inspired and timed releases in terms of new palettes that are out in the market. So today on the 14th we are going to see Morgan Turner's collab with Odin's Eye launch, which looks really beautiful, has lots of purples, some pinks, some neutrals, looks gorgeous. Then Cosmic Brushes had the Lovers palette, which I am going to have time to edit this and put pictures in, so just go and look at their Instagram if you haven't seen the promo photos for the Lovers palette. Like, the most beautiful swatch photos I've ever seen for any palette launch. Two holding hands, and then the swatches up the 2 arms, like stunningly beautiful, very much selling the fantasy. And both the Cosmic Brushes palette and the Odin's Eye Morgan Turner's palette have kind of solved a problem that both brands have had for me in the past, which is that the colour story is very higgledy-piggledy in terms of there might be several of a particular colour story, you know, a few blues, a few greens, a few pinks, whatever, but they're not together, they're mixed all over the palette. Whereas with this newest Cosmic Brushes release and with the newest Odin's Eye release, they have the colour stories kind of collected together, which just makes it easier for my brain to think about how I would use the palettes. So both very tempting. And then the third one is the Beauty Bay Dreamer palette, I think it's called, or I think Dreamer, which a lot of the reviews say it's kind of too light, but I often beeline for palettes that people say are too light because I have very pale skin and I like a lighter look and often do not use the deeper shades in my palettes. So that wouldn't turn me off, but I was looking at the swatches and a lot of the colours that I'd be very interested in, I feel like I probably have shades like that already. But nonetheless, very tempting. All 3 really beautiful palettes, and had that itch of, oh, I want, even though Valentine's Day is not a big deal to me, like we have no plans today. But I decided, no, I'm going to hold firm and not buy and think about what I already own that could give me maybe similar looks, maybe not. I haven't as much colour here and I haven't the same colours here in my selection as, for example, in the Cosmic Brushes Lovers palette, but, or the Lovers. Nonetheless, the Valentine's looks that I would be interested in, I thought I definitely have palettes I'm happy with to achieve those looks already. So we're going to talk about 10 palettes today. Some of them are quite old, they're not available anymore. You may already own them, or you may own something similar. Some of them are still available. I'm not really trying to encourage you to buy anything new with this video. I am hoping you can look in your collection as well and think about, you know, if you wanted to do something that goes with this season, what palettes do you own that you could achieve that with. So first off, we're actually not going to talk about these 2 palettes, the BH Cosmetics Hanging in Hawaii and the LA Girl Pro Mastery palette, which definitely both fit the bill, but they are my level 1 and level 2 project level up palettes. Sorry if you could hear some beeping there in the background, don't know what that's about. So I've been talking about those a lot recently, so I'm going to talk about some other palettes. So first of all, what's on my eyes today, and very much I think I was thinking of Morgan Turner's palette with wanting to do this and kind of matching my nails, which you can't really see, but there's a pink sheen to them. It's the shade Gloss from Manicurist. So on my eyes today I have the Kaleidos Futurism 6 Lunar Lavender. So this is actually my first time wearing this palette, and I have, I think this is Nocturnal, Dreamscape and Crater on my eyes today. And I'm actually also wearing Nocturnal as a blush. So cute. The bright purples. I really wanted to wear a blue dress today, but it's really grey outside and I was like, I have to go out. I was like, it's going to be freezing. So I decided to go for a blue top instead, and I thought the purple and the blue would look good together. I am wearing this Catrice highlighter in the inner corner and this Essence eyeliner on the lower lash line, but I love this eye look. I think it's super cute and a bit fun, and you know, definitely a Valentine's look in terms of not appealing to the male gaze. My appealing to the male gaze palette is not maybe what you would think it would be, which it's not. I would say, like, you know, neutrals, blah de blah, whatever men want. But my partner loves when I wear kind of pink lemonade-y style looks. He loves the combination of pink and yellow, and this palette from LA Girl definitely gives me that. I think I wore this palette actually on his birthday. I really, really like this, and obviously you've got a lot of pinks in here to do a more traditional Valentine's Day look. But in terms of, you know, if I wanted to think that my partner thought I looked really pretty, which might be something I would want on a Valentine's Day, that is the palette that I would go for. I'm going to put the Kaleidos up there as well, so I make sure I don't repeat myself. In terms of, we've got a lot of pink palettes here. Will we do those all together? Maybe. So the Essence Daily Dose of Love. This is a pink palette that surprised me because it is so affordable, but sometimes I am using a different palette and then I reach in here, like particularly for this shade, because the pinks I'm using in something else just aren't pink enough. So I really, really love this. Obviously the Daily Dose of Love theming really goes with Valentine's Day, but just a cute one, an older one from Essence, a couple of years old I think, so you can't get it anymore I don't think, but really, really good. And they had 2 other color stories in this same line, which I didn't get, but if the quality is the same, and you have them, you should pull them out and enjoy them. Next up on our pinky pink category, for me, by the way, pink is like the #1 color of Valentine's Day, and then red, and then purple. I feel like from other people's content, red seems to be the #1 colour of Valentine's Day, which is just interesting. But this is the Juvia's Place, the Blushed Rose palette, and mostly pinks, a kind of reddy, deeper tone, and then this gold that's kind of an interesting gold. This shade here is stunningly beautiful, and like over a neutral look, it's amazing. With a pink look, it's amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's why I've got a tiny bit of a dip in that. These are huge shades, so it will take me a very long time to build up that dip. But yeah, really love this. And this can both work as blushes as well, which is really nice. You can do that very cohesive look. Next up, another oldie but a goodie, the Catrice Cosmetics Marie palette, which is actually called Je suis Marie. Look at her, she's so beautiful. So beautiful. So here we've got those really rosy neutrally, like pinky neutrals, and then some proper bright pinks. So yeah, absolutely love this one. Love the theme. Think it's just so cute. And you know, everybody wants to be a cat, so I think everyone would be happy with that. Next, I suppose we'll move on to our slightly less pink ones, or pinks and neutrals mixed together. So I was thinking of the Beauty Bay Neutral 42 palette, which I think could definitely work, but I wanted to stick with 10. And then I thought this is a bit more cohesive and easy than the Beauty Bay, but it's a similar vibe of you've got neutrals and you've got some pinky neutrals. And I love this palette. It's great formula, really easy to use, and really beautiful. So yeah, in terms of just like, you know, an everyday look and then making it just a little different for Valentine's Day, this, you know, a shade like this, it's not a bright pink whereby people will be like, oh, you're wearing a costume for this holiday. It's a subtle nod to the time of year, which I think is really, really fun. And then in that kind of vein, we've got the Alter Ego Coastal palette. So we've got a lot of cool tone neutrals in here, some of which have a bit of a purpley mauvey, bit of a pinky pull. And then we have a few brighter pinks as well. And then we've got a little bit of warm neutral. So I think you've actually got a lot in here that you could really work with, and obviously some fun shades to play with. This shade would look really good with the top I'm wearing today, Ripple, this kind of deeper taupey, there's a bit of blue, it's a bit interesting. Then there's Pearl, a bit brighter. Yeah, absolutely love this. I've actually only worn this palette once, Ruth decluttered this to me. I just scraped out this goo shade because I'm not interested in that. But it was so beautiful and I loved it. And I was just like, yes, a more subtle version of what I've got on now could definitely be achieved with this palette. Just going to wipe the excess shadow off of my fingers so I don't get too much eyeshadow on the rest of my palettes now. And then for the truly just, it's the everyday look. It's ever so slightly pink, but to feel really pretty, which I can absolutely see, you know, if you've got a special outfit you're wearing for Valentine's Day, if you're going on a nice date, if you're just, you know, wearing hearts, whatever, wanting to feel really pretty would make loads of sense. So this is the Liqueur Quad. I think it's called the Perfect Nude now. When I bought it, they didn't have a shade name or a individual palette name because this was the first one, but then they've released other color stories, so they had individual palette names. So obviously this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette, which I do not own, and I have the their dupe that came out with this to the lipstick as well, and I can just imagine wearing this and the lipstick and going on a date night and feeling just really pretty and really special and nice, because like this gold topper, it does just add a touch of something special. And obviously this pinky nude matte, which that's not really a strong enough swatch for you to see, but anyway, you know what Pillow Talk looks like. They translate the way they are in the palm on the eye. And this was in my Project Level Up last year, so I have 2 pans in there, which I'm very happy with. It took like over 30 uses to hit that matte pan. That was difficult. And then finally, we've talked a lot about drugstore and palettes that are no longer available. So 2 palettes that are definitely not drugstore and are still available. So first up, for that purpley vibe, burgundy, really cute, we've got, oh god, 400 Babylon Roses. And then for that actually red being the main colour of Valentine's Day, we've got 500 Medina Glow. And I can just imagine wearing this and a red lipstick, and I'm not really a heels person, but heels and just feeling really, really special. So obviously these palettes have these just gorgeous topper shades and they just have a lot of sparkle, and it's that like special occasion makeup feeling, and obviously they are expensive, so that feels special as well. So those are the topper shades from the Babylon Roses, and these are from the Medina Glow. Just the Medina Glow gets its redness from this matte, like they're kind of satiny mattes in these palettes. But anywho, definitely a special one and feels a bit fancy, feels a bit nice, which might be your vibe on Valentine's Day. My vibe on Valentine's Day is that we might go to the local pub to get our dinner, or we might not, we'll see. So whatever you're doing for Valentine's Day or the 14th of February, or if you don't see this video till next week, I hope your later February is going really well. But thank you for spending time with me today and watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.